sweeping the country all over the place. Hottest dance sensation in the last 4 years, a thing called the twist. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Chubby Checker.
That man launched countless stars who defined rock and roll in the wider world of pop culture.
Dick Clark, the man who shaped more than a half-century of American entertainment, is mourned tonight after his death at 82 of a heart attack.
News Channel 5's Jake Hashmir here with local residents remembering a showbiz legend. Jay?
Michael Kelly, most of us grew up watching Dick Clark, and it was a time-honored tradition to ring in the new year with him. Tonight, we caught up with a few fans who recounted their run-ins with the man described as America's oldest teenager. The nation is saying goodbye to an American icon who was a fixture on television for 6 decades.
I love Dick Clark. He was a man that never aged. He always had a smile.
That smile had everyone singing and dancing on American Bandstand, a show that helped make Clark a household name.
Saturday mornings, watching Dick Clark, that was the thing to do.
He went on to inspire millions, single-handedly changing music and how people of the 50s and 60s came together through it.
He was probably the first one that integrated music with the black groups into a white music and the white fans, and I think that's one of his biggest accomplishments.
In 1993, Dick Clark stopped by the old WPTV studios on Flagler Drive. There, he enlightened the entire staff, speaking with an open heart on how proud he was of the integration.
There were always black musicians, not always black kids dancing in the studio. That didn't happen until 1956. That was when I inherited the show and began slow integration.
And a huge impression was made on those who attended the tapings, an impression still visible in the minds of dancers to this day.
Well, it was exciting because here we are, high school kids on it was a local television show, of course. But to be on TV was really exciting.
In particular, for Steve Culinaro, American Bandstand was a dream come true. The Palm Beach Gardens resident remembers vividly the memories of the show and the man who stood by it, making sure everyone had a shot at fame.
He was, I guess like a disciplinarian. He ran the show with an iron fist, and, if we were on the front too much, he would raise heck with us and put us in the back and make sure we stayed there for a couple dances, so everybody had a turn to get in front of the camera. We used to call them camera hogs.
For the younger generation, Clark will be most remembered for his Rockin' Eve party in New York's Times Square.
We had a lot of feeling for him and a lot of appreciation that he was brave enough to work through the slurred speech and the memory lapses.
Even after a severe stroke in 2004, Clark got back on the mic and presided over the festivities each and every New Year's Eve, making his famous countdown, which will always be remembered for decades to come.
You think of the ball dropping on New Year's Eve, it is totally synonymous with the name Dick Clark, and that will never be the same without him.
Clark had a history of heart disease and was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 1994. He is survived by his wife and 3 children. No word yet on funeral arrangements.